Man, what's up with the what's up? It's your boy Tyrone Hunter back in the building with another one. About to give y'all some game. You see the title, you know my motto, I'm not gonna hold you. So we're gonna get right into it. Hold up, wait. Alright, so check me out. So you see the title, and in this one we're gonna talk about why it's better to walk away and don't look back. You could apply this to a couple of different things, but I'm going to apply it to two different things. I'm going to apply it to relationships, and I'm going to apply it to the streets, right? Not sure what order, but man, you know what it is. Stick around to the end of the video so you can find out, right? If you've been rocking with the channel, I appreciate you. Shout out to you. If you're just checking it for the first time, hit that like button on the way in the door. Hit that subscribe button on the way out the door. Ain't nobody giving it up like this, right? So check it out. Why is it important to walk away and not look back? Well, first and foremost, if you walked away the first time or you left, that means you left for a reason. And a lot of times doubling back, you kind of forget the reason why you walked away, and then you get caught back up in the matrix. That's for one. Scribble that in your notebook. I'm going to give y'all a chance to digest that before, I go on. I'm going to drink some water. So let me repeat that. If you walk away, it don't make no sense to go back, because if you go back, that means you forgot the reason that you walked away in the first place. And whatever made you walk away in the first place, you forgot about it. And the thing about history is it repeats itself. So it's only going to be a matter of time before you run into the same thing that you ran into before. And I think that one right there most fit relationships, right? If you walk away from a relationship, or if somebody walk away from you in a relationship, that's done. It's over. Clear. Gone. Don't go back. Ain't gonna be none good. Now, do we have those instances where people was like, in relationships way back when, probably when they was a little younger, and they just kind of went in a separate direction, and then they got older and they bumped into each other and it was all good? Yeah, that happens. But if you break up because y'all had not so good of a relationship, 9 times out of 10, it's just best to leave that in the past. Because some of these females be crazy and deranged. And then based on what we see going on out there in society, a lot of these dudes is getting crazy and deranged. They doing all kind of crazy, bugged out stuff. So females, y'all need to be careful, because a lot of these dudes nowadays, they ain't wrapped too tight. And the same could go for the females, so I guess we even. So yeah, that's my advice in terms of that. Now, for anybody who ever been in the streets and you decided to leave the streets alone, do yourself a favor and don't go back. Especially if you got locked up from being in your neighborhood, and you went away and you did a lot of time in prison, and you came home. I don't care what nobody say, and don't let nobody convince you that it's smart to go back to your neighborhood. Yeah, you got people that say, if you can't go back to your own neighborhood, yo, you soft. Yo, that mean you don't get no love. That mean you don't get no respect. All right, so let me give you one, right? So if you was in your neighborhood and you was terrorizing the neighborhood, right? You was playing with them tools, right? You done put a lot of situations in perspective, right? You done dealt with quite a few people rather strongly, right? Some of them is still out there when you go back to your hood after some years pass by. Some of the dudes that they cool with is still out there. Some of them dudes had kids if you done did 10, 15, 20 years or whatever the case may be. Some of them dudes got kids. A lot of dudes that you thought you knew or that you was cool with before you left the streets, people change in time. So how you knew them 10, 15, 20 years ago, they are not the same individuals now. Then you got the younger dudes that came up. They heard about your reputation. They heard how you was putting that thing down, putting in that pain, putting in that action, so forth and so on. And they want to bump into you because they want to show people like, I'm realer than him. I put in more work than him. Now become a competition. Now you probably going to have to lay little dude down or little dude going to lay you down. And a lot of times, this is why a lot of dudes get killed in their own hood. Because they always thinking that they hood got love for them. Now, don't get me wrong. There's certain areas, there's certain states that if you from a particular neighborhood, you always going to be welcome in that neighborhood. Do I personally think it's smart to go back to those neighborhoods? Nah. Because me personally, I know way too many people who is from my neighborhood who left. And they left because it was certain beef or whatever the case may be. And they came back years later thinking everything was all good, but the hood ain't forget. And they got stretched out. They was better where they was. They was better where they was. You know? It'd be situation and circumstances like, okay, so you in the hood, you doing what you do, all right, you get locked up, you catch a case, you go to jail. Now, your peoples or your family, they in the streets, they in the hood, they going to war with certain individuals, right? They going to war. Now you come home, your family, your peoples that you was rocking with, they was going to war with some other dudes in the hood. You come back to the hood, you don't know who got love for you, who don't got love for you. You don't know if dudes is waiting for you to come home so they could stretch you out like that, or if dudes is going to embrace you. But see, a lot of times with dudes, it be like they ego, you know? It be that thought or that feeling in them like, man, ain't nobody going to move me. Ain't nobody going to run me from nowhere. Like, I'm good in my hood. I could go back to my hood and da-da-da. You don't realize that if you get locked up, which force you to be away from your hood for a long time, you don't see that as a warning or as a reason that you shouldn't be in the hood. Like you don't see that as a wake-up call that you getting removed from the hood for a reason. See, some of y'all live your life like this is a movie, like this is a video game, like life, you got all of these different lives. You know, if you die, you just put in a chord in, you rewind, or you press the start button, you know, and you get another life. Like, this is not the video game. This is real life. And a lot of people be playing with their life, and that's why they get caught up in a bad decision, and you hear about them on the news. That's why it be like that. Now, don't get me wrong, if you ain't have drama in your neighborhood, you had drama in another neighborhood, then it kind of might be good for you, you know, back in your own hood. But you got to remember the players change. You know, things change. Circumstances change. There was times like in Brooklyn, Brooklyn always been a place that, man, don't get caught in certain neighborhoods if you're not from around there. But then it was also some of those same neighborhoods, depending on who you was, you could go to those neighborhoods, no problems. But nowadays, you got all of these different gangs that are in these neighborhoods. You don't know who's who in those neighborhoods no more. Especially places like the Bronx. You got 100 different gangs in the Bronx. Brooklyn got a lot of gangs too, but in the Bronx, you got 100 different gangs. Harlem, you got 100 different gangs. So it's like, if you not from certain neighborhoods and you, or let's say you from those neighborhoods or used to move around certain neighborhoods, you done went to prison and you done did time and you done came back and you trying to go back to these same neighborhoods. I mean, you may or may not be good, but you don't know the politics of what's going on. You know, that's why kind of like wisdom. If you function and you operate off of this, you always gonna be good. You know, you always gonna be good. You just gotta know. You know, you just gotta know how to move. And sometimes you take chances because you feeling like you invincible, or you know you got it with you, or you know you're gonna make sure you good. So it's like it don't matter where you go. Me, I pull up most anywhere. Just holler at me. Yeah, I want to pull up. I want to see. You know what I'm saying? But do I advise it? No. I don't necessarily advise it. Like I said, going back to your same stomping grounds where you left all of them issues, and especially if you say you was a hitter and you was a killer and you was, you know what I'm saying? If you was putting in that work, if you was putting in that pain, and you going back to the same neighborhood where you done did all of this dirt, and dudes already situated and solidified, and dudes was probably waiting for you to come home, you think that's a safe situation? Like, sometimes y'all got to stop feeding into your ego and stop thinking that just because you call yourself a thug, just because you call yourself tough, just because you call yourself a gangster, that means you bulletproof. Remember, 20, 30 years ago, dudes was using regular handguns. You feel what I'm saying? Dudes was using regular handguns. What is that, 16, one in the head? It was 17. Now dudes got 50 rounds. Dudes got 100 rounds. Yeah. So that's a change right there in and of itself. You just coming home from jail, you ain't got a 2-round on you. But you going back to the hood thinking you good. Y'all better stop playing with y'all life, man. Stop working off of this ego. And, stop thinking that just because you was born and you was raised up in a certain hood and a certain neighborhood and a certain environment, that's the only place in the world. You know, you got to grow. You got to get out there and explore. But I also understand that a lot of dudes, they ain't got nowhere else to go. They ain't got no other neighborhoods that they could go. They don't have opportunities to be able to live in certain other places. Because they didn't leave themselves no resources to make sure that they could do that. And they family ain't put nothing together to make sure that they'll have somewhere else to go home. Make sure they'll have somewhere else to go after they come home from doing a bid. Who want to go back to the same neighborhood you done did 10, 15, 20 years in jail, or you been in the streets all of this time and you done went out of state, you was getting money, living a good life, and you want to come back to the same neighborhood and be in the same neighborhood? That's why a lot of people get stuck and you can't really move forward, you know? You can't really move forward. You got to progress in life. See what I'm saying? You got to progress. You can't be doing the same thing. And stop listening to the dudes that be like, oh, if you can't go back to your old hood, then, it got to be something wrong. And, you ain't built like that and you don't move like, man, listen, some people Some people had real issues in the streets. Some people was involved in real gunplay in the streets. You feel what I'm saying? Some people was real life and death situations when they was in the streets. So because you went to prison and you came back home, don't mean the people that you have them problems and them issues with for God. Come on, man. Like, use your biscuit, use your noggin. Some hoods, some areas, circumstances is different, you know. Like I be watching, you know, some of the YouTubers from California, and they be having, you know, the gangs out there, and they be having their hood days and they set days, and, you know, a lot of times dudes, you know, be right back there in their neighborhoods. They've been in the same neighborhoods 30, 40, 50, 60 years. And some neighborhoods is like that, you know, some politics is like that, you know. But if you comfortable being where you always been, you're never gonna feel like traveling to places that you've never been. A lot of that be fear. People be scared to move forward in life because they don't know what they expect. They don't know if they're gonna fail. They don't know if they're gonna be good. You know, they don't know how life is gonna play out, so they scared to take chances. Then you got others. It's like, what opportunity over there? Gone. You know. Oh, okay. You know, somebody. I'm in a whole nother area. I got an opportunity to, you know, to reinvent myself, to make myself a better person, or to change, you know, my life so I could stay out of, you know, a lot of nonsense so I don't get jammed back up again. It's like, go backwards for what, man? I know so many people, trust and believe, I know so many people that was from certain neighborhoods and they done got locked up, went to prison, did some time, and they went back to their same old neighborhoods, back to their same old stomping grounds, and they either got locked back up or they got murdered. Or if they still out there in the same neighborhood, they washed up and ain't doing nothing. Because like you people really don't realize what the hood is about, right? So let me tell you this real quick before I get on up out of here. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, because this is the realest, right? A lot of you think that it's some sort of badge of honor to say that you from the hood. Y'all take a lot of pride in saying, oh yeah, this is my hood. Yeah, I rep my hood and all this phony baloney. Like, look, do you realize what the hood is? The hood is low-income neighborhoods. A lot of people ain't doing good. A lot of people are just barely surviving. A lot of people is only living off the strength of their hustle. Ain't too many people rich in the hood. It's poverty-stricken. It's violence. It's crazy. It's not a neighborhood to raise kids in. This is where you live because you can't afford to live nowhere else. That ain't nothing to be proud about, that you don't got the kind of money that you can live anywhere you want to live. It's not too many people from the hood that could say today, oh, okay, well, I'm going to just throw my stuff in the car and I'm going to go live in ATL. I'm going to go live in with Beverly Hills. I'm going to go live in Texas. You need money to take care of that. You need money to move like that. If you move somewhere, you got to be able to pay your bills, handle your responsibilities, get you a crib. A lot of people in the hood ain't got money to do that. So like this mindset that y'all be trying to feed into people, like, you know, you ain't nobody if you can't go to the hood or you don't go to the hood. That it don't make no sense. Y'all claiming blocks in the hood that y'all don't even own nothing. You living in low income housing You're not even paying a portion of what most people is paying for rent. You can't afford no mortgage. So what makes you think the hood is the most beautiful place to be in the world? What makes you think that? What makes you think that if you're not good in the hood, you're not good nowhere? Bill Gates don't live in the hood. Elon Musk don't live in the hood. Jay-Z don't live in the hood. Master P don't live in the hood. Tyler Perry don't live in the hood. And the list goes on and on and on and on. All of these people that you glorify on social media, these successful rappers, entertainers, these successful celebrities, successful movie stars, top social media influencers, none of them don't live in the hood. And y'all trying to live their life. So stop letting people condition you to think or to feel that if you're not in the hood, then you no good. That's just all an illusion to trick you into thinking, feeling, believing that it's okay to be stuck at the bottom. Because there's so many people that live in the hood that wish they had the means to live somewhere else. The hood is a war zone. It ain't safe. Do y'all be paying attention what be going on in the hood? It's like we got to start using our minds and start using common sense, not the sense that somebody else gave us. But look, pretty much more of the story at the end of the day is once you take a step forward in life, don't take a step back. That goes for relationships, as well as that goes for if you're a street individual and you done been out there living that life. Because the same thing that you walked away from is going to be the same thing that's going to be there when you get back. And ain't no telling how it's going to play out this time. But it's your boy Tyrone Hunter, a.k.a. Uncle Tyrone in his zone, here giving you some game, giving you some food for thought. Something that'll keep you away from a whole lot of headaches and disappointment in life. You know, but you take what you feel is real, because at the end of the day, we all just trying to find out what's really good. And I just wanted to pop in and holler at y'all one more again. So, you know, I'm going to get on up out of here. I'm going to catch you in the next one. Make sure you check my other videos. Make sure you check my shorts if you're looking for inspirational content. And yeah, man, we just going to keep doing what we do. It ain't no other channel out here like this. So you ain't going to get what you've been seeing, what you accustomed to. You're going to get a whole new experience.